A half-intoxicated deep space salvage team operating old equipment issued the first warning. Prayer and rust-patched rigs, nobody paid attention to them, not at first. A supercarrier for humans that has been buried in neutral space for centuries, they were given the laughing treatment. The communication the next day, the crew disappeared. Only a locator beacon and no emergency call. Silence. The panic began at that moment, when Captain Nathan Hale was already orbiting. Started the Iron Reaper. His ship was only a little bit of an old Terran war vessel that was barely maintained. Saved by grit and the unwavering commitment of his team, however, Hale wasn't present for this reason. Treasure. The reason he was here was because of an ancient conflict, one that the galaxy wished to put behind it. On the bridge, I was by myself, my boots spread out and my arms crossed over a wounded chest. Plate. The stars outside the viewport were frigid and clear, serving as a harsh reminder of how little he was out here. Confirmed. His comms officer spoke with a clear tone. Full of tension, a huge structure was discovered beneath the ice sheet. The center core. Human structures are visible in the scans. The jaw of old Nathan moved. He was aware of it. Authentic. He had always known it, in some way. After the fall, the ancient fleet didn't merely vanish. A portion of it was gone. Black. A portion of it was hidden. And some of it, it seems, had a nap. Nathan inquired as to the location. The coordinates of Sector B7 are secured. It's less than 2 kilometers from ice and rock. A moment of quiet, then a second voice burst. Comms Commander Greaves of the Orion Syndicate uninvited over the bridge. Online. Reaper. Greaves mocked the overconfident weapon systems. Or did you come here to? When Nathan went sightseeing, he didn't respond. He didn't owe Greaves anything at all. He stared at the ground. On the old data pad that was fastened to his arm, the old tails and the coordinates were in perfect agreement. The missing Terran. The Sentinel supercarriers were a dreadnought class that were constructed during the height of human rule. To exert force throughout whole star systems, they had been wiped out by the galaxy. With treaties and lies, history buried them. One of them was now waking up. 1 hour later, the ice field was struck by the first earthquake. The low, lengthy vibrations that created the under Nathan's boots, deck plates vibrate. Voices screaming across the comms. Chattered from dozens of nearby ships, scavengers, pirates, corporate vultures. Every mercenary armada was circling like it had a prize that none of them could carry. The navigator yelled, "Something's moving," as he comprehended the mass displacement. The ice beneath lights was split by a profound fracture. The gap was massive. Ancient engines coughed back to life, but they were also too perfect to be true. Following hundreds of years of quiet, the signal then arrived. It wasn't a call for help. It did not serve as a light. It was difficult old code in a single burst. Terran military encryption. Only a select few human captains still possessed it in their bloodlines and ship systems. It was immediately translated into a Sentinel-class supercarrier by Nathan's console. Horizon status: awakening. Designation: humanity preservation. Protocol: preservation protocol. Nathan's breath caught in his throat. That was one. Order to murder, a fail-safe mechanism intended to eliminate any perceived danger to humanity. By itself, those protocols, following the collapse that occurred after the Dominion's galactic purge, had been made illegal. However, politics were irrelevant to this vessel. This vessel was only aware of its final command. The ice burst out of the viewport in a flash. A booming cloud, an armored, miles-long, black shape emerged from the depths. In slabs of forgotten alloy, covered with weapon arrays that nobody had seen in recorded history, the horizon was awake and the galaxy was already screaming. The initial Syndicate ships launched pointless energy blasts. Reflecting off old shields, the panic retreats followed. The communication system was inundated. With a terrified tone, the hostile supercarrier repeat: human supercarrier complete. Operating the engine spooling, my god, it's a weapon system that targets everything. Nathan remained motionless as the monster ascended, and the ships fled. He was not fearful. Not like them. He wasn't here to argue against it. He was here due to an ancient commitment. A pledge. That should the final sentinels ever wake, someone would be there to welcome them home. Take us in with a direct approach, Nathan stated softly. He was met with blank stares from his crew as if he were him. Was crazy. He might have been, but it didn't make a difference. The galaxy was on the verge of combustion. And in 300 years, Nathan Hale would be the first man on the horizon. The iron. As Nathan pushed the old ship closer to the rising debris field, Reaper sliced through it with his engines flaring. Monster, he ignored all of his instincts, which urged him to go back. There wasn't any. Returning right away, the horizon was the dominant feature outside of the front viewport. An old supercarrier that resembled a jagged blade, with half of its hull still dragging ice and rocks behind it. Its shield. The black color of the void seemed to absorb light, creating a brilliant contrast. Its flanks were covered in thousands of red pin pricks, and its defensive batteries awoke from their centuries-long sleep. 5,000 meters and closing? Nathan queried the navigator orally. Range to target? Sir, my sensors show it's powering weapon systems, Nathan replied, trembling with terror. Nathan gave a nod. Certainly it is. This time, an emergency broadcast caused the comms to ring once more. The Galactic Security Council, which oversaw the channel wideband, had noticed this. This is Admiral Harrow of the Battle Fleet of the GSC on alert. All ships are ordered to, yelled the severe voice. Get out of Sector B7 right away. The item is now categorized as belonging to the galaxy. Dangerously, Nathan, pull out immediately. Typical, huh? The same council that betrayed humanity after the collapse. The same politicians who had surrendered the Dominion's heritage to the alien coalitions. Now, they wanted the very last true one. A relic from that era that was destroyed. He turned off the channel. Ignore them, said Nathan simply, whose exo was Briggs, a tough former Marine. Captain, the GSC will not give in, I have taken a stand next to him. If we board that thing, they will pursue us aggressively, Nathan said, meeting his gaze. They are on their way. Regardless, we're not leaving this to them, Briggs responded with arguments. The Iron Reaper's crew was not here in search of riches. They weren't pirates or mercenaries. All of them had relatives who could recall the old wars, men who had grown up hearing tales of how their forefathers had founded the Dominion. Betrayed after starting from nothing when humanity's allies turned against them. A ship, and more, was Horizon. It served as a representation.